Hello again, this is Stan, and this is one of my stories. It had been another hard day. I'd spent the day sending out resumes, making phone calls, seeking appointments. I was looking for a new job after having left a position that seemed intolerable after nearly 10 years of service and good achievement. As my wife cleared up the dishes after dinner, all of a sudden she started to cry, and then to scream. "This is exactly what I was hoping for when I married you 20 years ago," she said. "I was hoping after 20 years of marriage we would have no house, no car, no job, no money, broke, and a kid in college to pay for. That's exactly what I was hoping for." And then her sarcasm and sorrow gave way to sobs of great pain as she left the room. That was many years ago, and as I write these words I can remember and almost feel the deep sadness I felt for her at that time. My sadness was made even darker because of the deep disappointment in my own performance and place in life. Obviously, I'd messed up in some serious ways to be in such a mess and to bring such hurt to one I loved. This week, we're going to be talking about growing strong, oftentimes in the broken places. And so we begin with a part of my story, because what we're going to discover is if you want to be strong, grow strong, and have strength, you begin with your story. That's what we're going to learn today as Radio on the Edge begins to move to the Jesus entrepreneur, so you can be a Christian entrepreneur who makes a difference in your world, in your business, indeed in the marketplace. Let's start that show. Let's start that time together right now. And we do welcome you back to Radio on the Edge as we move to a program title which makes it even more specific. We're talking about how you can grow and go to be the Jesus entrepreneur. My name is Stan Hustad, and this is brought to you by the Christian Entrepreneur Network, tcentrepreneur.org, TCE Entrepreneur, tcentrepreneur.org. And we trust that you will be in touch and perhaps look us up and contact us as we're trying to build things and make this network of people around the world happen. I'd love to hear from you. RadioEdge77 at gmail.com. RadioEdge77 at gmail.com. How do we grow strong? Well, one of the first things we're going to discover is that we have to literally answer that wonderful question where someone says, "Help me help you." What needs to happen is that many of us have to find out that we need someone to help us, and we got to be open to the coaching and mentoring. All significant entrepreneurs that I've ever had the experience of working with, and I've worked with many, can usually tell you about a specific person, place, situation where a coach or mentor, oftentimes a professional coach, came in and helped them out. And I'd like to add that I've been privileged to be the coach to many entrepreneurs who have been very kind to me. They've employed me, they've used me, they've paid me well, and at the same time they give me credit oftentimes for the entrepreneurial success that they have enjoyed. But here's what I have learned even in the experience of helping people. We need to know our story. Dealing with, creating with, being able to tell it well, telling our story is one of the first steps to becoming strong and having a strong influence in the marketplace. And so what I'd like to do today, with your permission, is to tell you one of my stories and then hopefully bring the message home and then help you as we go through this week find other ways where you can grow stronger. Okay, here we go. And now, with your permission, let me tell you a little bit more of the story. Well, you heard the first part. I now see that in that pain, what I call the coaching experience began. The story that had gotten me to that point was not one of great stupidity and evil. I had not broken any law. I had not stolen from my employer or embezzled money. I had not had an affair with an assistant, drank too much, or engaged in any of the long list of career-destroying behaviors that are way too common. My resume was rather impressive. My credentials were strong, my performance was very good, and my relationships with colleagues clean and clear. But obviously I had missed some key understandings and was unaware of all that may have been needed for me to succeed in the marketplace. Since I was not able to immediately reestablish my career, I searched for a job and eventually was just looking for work. Today I regularly receive some exceptional compensation for my efforts, but I know what it's like to work for $5 an hour and be grateful for that work. But as I did this and began to find other and better situations, I also began to search for the lessons that would help me be successful. Every chance I could, I read a book or listened to an audio program on success, time management, goal setting, organizational development, leadership, marketing, effective living, and all of the other related self-help and success stories and offerings. You know, then it began to happen. As Earl Nightingale said in his classic radio program, the greatest secret, what a man or a woman thinks about, often and with intensity, they become. I thought about that. I struggled through Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People and tried to implement them in my life. I must have listened to Paul Meyer's The Power of Personal Goal Setting 50 times, and I became an inveterate goal setter. I was determined to be one of the 3% of the population who set goals, writes them down, works a plan, and holds themselves accountable to their achievement. All of this was extraordinarily helpful and exciting. I wanted to share what I was learning, but I also lived with regrets and perplexity. Why had I never learned many of these things before? I was a college graduate, a teacher, international broadcaster, was in graduate school, and realized that no one had ever really helped me learn the basics of successful and powerful living. Why were these open secrets so unknown to me and others? I decided to start giving seminars on goal setting to whoever would listen and hopefully pay for. I began with a simple program called Making Your Mark, or Just Marking Time. It was a challenge and a curriculum on how to take control of your life and stop being a victim, to pursue your dreams and live with purpose every day, set goals, gain the poise, and work the plan to make your mark in life and business. Slowly, people began to hear. I was able to do this, and people would even pay for the privilege. But I still did not quit my day job. But other things began to happen. I found out that the typical rah-rah motivational speech or a one-day or one-hour seminar may contain helpful information, but it seldom, if ever, really helped people to change their lives and behavior. Increasingly, people who really cared and wanted to improve their life and business would ask me to help them on a one-on-one basis or with their employees to set some goals and, better yet, reach them. Then one day, long before it became popular, even faddish, one committed client turned to me and said, "You know what you are? You're a coach. You really need to do that." That is what I do. Well, I still give speeches and workshops and write books and produce audio programs, produce this podcast, but my life work is providing what I call a coaching experience. The coaching experience is where focused conversations, questions, information, ideas, challenges, and I hope some occasional wisdom, are provided to help people discover what they want to do, what they hope to achieve, how to take action, get results, perform at their best, influence, persuade, and lead others, become the kind of person they want to be, and make a difference in their world and the world. And today, through a variety of means, particularly what you're doing right now on this radio program, through the Christian Entrepreneur Network, and through other organizations and situations, we're seeking to help men and women become the kind of person who can make their mark in the marketplace, particularly those who want to be Christian entrepreneurs. Then it began to make sense. People did not improve, grow, and change their behavior because they attend a seminar, because they hear a speech or read a book or even get an MBA or a similar degree. People who achieved these good ends usually did so because another person spent time with them, using coaching principles. I then found literally examples all over the place and in every historical era. Literally from John Wooden, basketball coach, to Jesus of Nazareth. Wooden taught college basketball stars the importance of small things like tying up your sneakers correctly. Jesus did very little public speaking, never wrote a book, spent very little time to witness to his truths. But he did spend time to witness with his friends and followers. I also remember studying Socrates, who challenged the young men who were in Athens that, hey, you needed to discover that the unexamined life was not worth living. Then it became very personal as I surveyed my past experience. Ms. Dodd, a mysterious woman, was the speech and drama coach who taught a shy young boy how to perform on stage. Charles Helms, manager of a local J.C. Penney retail store, taught the same young boy how to sell shoes, even himself, and run a retail operation. Pastor Carl Johansson spent time teaching and mentoring me in the art of seeking spiritual development. It became increasingly obvious that where I had achieved strong success and self-reliance, it was often due to coaching and mentoring, and where these people and qualities were lacking was where I often floundered and failed. I finally proclaimed that everybody needs a coach, and the best have coaching. So for the past many years, I've been growing a successful performance coaching practice and building related businesses. I've learned a lot about the art of coaching others. It is just that. It's a performance art that helps others to take charge of their lives, pursue their hopes and dreams, set and achieve goals, market themselves with high impact, influence, sell to, and lead others. The coaching experience is a collection of what I have learned, the awarenesses that I have gained, and the models that work. Because as we say at the Christian Entrepreneur Network, we're trying to help you build a life, build a business, and build a brand that really works. So, here's what we're hoping you can do. That you'll be able to reach out and learn all of those things that make life work better for you. At the same time, you'll perhaps allow us to be your coach and help you to do that. And more significantly, just as Jesus taught, he'll say, now that you know how to do it, now that you know how to become it, go and teach. Go teach others. And that's one of the great principles of what we call the Christian entrepreneur. That's my story. Thank you for listening. I'm Stan Hustad. This is Radio on the Edge. Give me a few more minutes, and I'll try and bring it home right to you.
'Tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a gift to be free, 'tis a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in the place just right, 'twill be in the valley of love and delight. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend and not be ashamed, to turn will be our delight, till by turning we come round right.
Here we go, and Here's the deal. First of all, it took me a long time to take all of the experiences in my life and say, this is my story. I may even add, this is my song. It's a gift to be simple. It's a gift to be free. It's a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we come down in the place just right, it'll be in the valley of love and delight. It'll be a God-given gift. And now, how can we do that? You see, when we have a coach, when we have a mentor, when we have somebody who cares for us and with us, it will help us become strong. We can't do it alone. We also need to find that we are spiritual beings unless we are spiritually connected to the master of the universe, the master entrepreneur, to Jesus of Nazareth. We will never be at the strength level we want to be or need to be. So, we encourage you to do that. But just as I did, now, the way you market yourself, the way you build a business, is you take time to build your story. Because what we're going to learn is this. Storytelling is the only effective means of communication. May I say that again? Storytelling is the only effective means of communication. And whatever business you're in, let me tell you this, it's a communication business. And unless you know how to take your stuff, your product, your service, your goods, which I guarantee you somebody else has, just as good, maybe better, and probably cheaper, until you can tell your story, you will not have the power that you need to be all you can be, both personally, spiritually, relationally to God, and in the marketplace. Richard Branson says, hey, if you can't tell stories, you can't succeed as an entrepreneur. If you can't tell stories, you can't succeed as an entrepreneur. Well, the first story you need to tell is your story, and perhaps how you found help, what made a difference in your life, and then perhaps use that as a way to share it with others. All of us are broken. Even today, I'm broken again, and I've been broken many times. Lots of difficult things happen, will continue to happen, and until we die, life will be difficult. Adversity is part of the plan. We'll be broken again. But in doing that, we seek to become stronger in the broken places. Are you finding a coach? Are you working on your story? Are you beginning to do a little self-assessment like we can help you do to discover your top strengths, at the same time discover the things that will help make you stronger? Want to be strong? Want to be stronger? Find a mentor or a coach to help you. Particularly if you follow the master entrepreneur, somebody in the Christian Entrepreneur Network. And then begin, with our help, with somebody's help, to start to tell your story. Storytelling is by far the only effective means of communication. I'm Stan Houston. This is a Radio on the Edge, becoming the Jesus Entrepreneur. Thank you very much. And again, we try and make this program that comes to you when we have something to say, usually 4 or 5 times a week, but not always. We want to have something to say, something to share, something that is of use to you, not just something we lay on you because it's deadline time, not because it's radio time. So this week we're going to be talking about how you can become stronger. We'd love to hear from you. First of all, check out our new and growing website, tcentrepreneur.org, tcentrepreneur.org. It's getting better and better because we have a coach who's helping us get better at website work. Frank and I are working with somebody who knows more about it than we do, so we can be better than we really are. We have a coach, a mentor. At the same time, get in touch with us, radioedge77@gmail.com, radioedge77@gmail.com. Life is difficult. Adversity will come. We will be broken. But friendships together in a growing spiritual, professional, and career and commercial network, like the Christian Entrepreneur Network, being in touch, sharing your story, finding a coach, things will then, both your life, your business, and your brand building will work better. We'll talk about this some more and again. All the best and blessings until next time. Bye for now.